Starting your Locker natural hair journey is oh so rewarding, but can be extremely stressful when you start to consider what products to use. If that's you, then look no further. Locklicious is a Black-owned company that has created an all-natural product line for locked and loose natural crowns. The Locklicious team works hard to ensure that their products are free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, PEG, synthetics, and other toxic chemicals you find in other products. Best of all, the products are lightweight and will not leave residue or cause buildup. Go to locklicious.com to start treating your crown like royalty.
So Demetris Wimberley is a former San Diego Streets Division laborer has been awarded a settlement of roughly $100,000 after filing a lawsuit against the city claiming it said that he faced discrimination because he is Black and was retaliated against when he spoke against unsafe work conditions, which you should. Is any kind of unsafe work conditions, you should report that to OSHA and your company. You should. And if they're not going to do anything about it, they retaliate, you definitely report it to the EEOC, that's for sure. So the city council, in his case, unanimously approved a settlement, for the brother that roughly came out to $97,500 back in August during a private session, according to what was reported. It said the meeting was closed to the public due to the legal matters brought up in the discussions. However, the settlement is coming without an admission of liability about the brother's claims. So basically they say, look, we ain't going to admit it, but we're going to pay you off. Paying somebody off, good and well, if you went to court, he would decimate you. When somebody's quick to settle with you like that, say, you know what? I think I want to go to trial. So those claims included the department using a minor vehicle crash in January 2018 as a reason to terminate him in retaliation for bringing about complaints. Now, say the former employee's accusations were primarily based on discrimination he says he faced and the mistreatment that he was met with following an on-the-job injury. So the brother's lawsuit says that a bias, for Latino workers in the workplace and that the Hispanic supervisor rather spoke English to the employees. It said, in addition, Black workers were forced to work in dangerous conditions when staff availability was low, whereas there were Latino co-workers were not. It said Wimberley also claimed that he was assigned to less desirable shifts and said was not given many opportunities for overtime, nor was he given a task that would likely lead to a promotion. The man says the series of incidents took place almost immediately after he was brought onto the team in November 2016. Say roughly 6 months on the job, Wimberley suffered a fractured foot. The suit states that he was forced to return to work just a few days later, despite still walking around with assistive crutches. Now, complaints, were made but repeatedly ignored. Then when the brother reported the situation surrounding his injury to the city's fraud and abuse hotline, higher-ups allegedly began retaliating against him, starting by extending his probation, the probation period that you normally in on the job, past original 1-year expiration. So that's how they did that to him. So he was subsequently fired after a minor crash where documents claimed his employer prevaricated about the cause. The city lied about the existence of evidence and altered documents to hide the true reason. For Mr. Wimberley's termination is stated. Now, the brother was fired in January 2018 after working for the city over a year. He requested a transfer to another city department in the fall of 2017 prior to his termination, but he was denied. So let me tell you something. If any of you dealing with discrimination on the job, okay, you seeing unfair treatment, and a lot of times you say, oh, I want to say it's racist. Unless you got them saying the N-word to you, that'd be the only thing you could really get them on. Like the brother that I recently reported on with Tessa, they were saying the N-word and all that. He had them dead to rights. Other people heard it. That's why he got awarded $132 million lawsuit. But if you notice they're treating you different, there's a term that I just, I appreciate my brother for putting me on with shout out to the sister at the EEOC for putting him on, is that when you notice them treating you different versus others, that's a statement that you can make when you make a claim called disparity of treatment. So disparity of treatment is they can't treat you different than they treat everybody else. They can't do that, right? So disparity of treatment is the legal term that you use when you notice you're being treated different than others. Now, if you have clear discrimination, like certain words being said to you, like for instance, when the brother talked about, how the Latino co-workers were being treated one way, but he was being treated, bad or whatever, it's a disparity of treatment. Unless they say something racial to him, like a racial slur or some sort of racial joke or some inferring race, that's the only way he can really prove it, right? But it's clear case of disparity of treatment. Now, it's also a retaliation, which retaliation is illegal as well. You need to document those things. When you treat it different on these jobs, I'm a firm believer of black people need to sue the hell out of companies, cities, and whoever else when they're doing things like this to you. Get paid. Make them pay for their racism. Now, unfortunately, when the city do it, taxpayers is paying it. And I hate that crap. But when you're working for the city, company, no matter what, sue them. Remember the term disparity of treatment. They cannot treat you different than nobody else. They can't say you better be to work on time, but you watching all these other people be late and nothing happens to them. You get rolled up, but nothing happens to them. You document all that stuff, and then you do disparity of treatment. When you put in your claim and tell the EEOC the same thing, hey, it's a disparity of treatment. This is my evidence. This is what's been done to me. This is what happened to others. I wish I would have known that some years ago on a particular job. But let me tell you what happened to me. So for years, I worked at this one job, never had no write-ups, no incidents, no nothing, right? The white dudes, when they would get in trouble, like let's say like they would do a transfer of some sort of chemical. If you block a valve in and it shuts a move down, you usually get rolled up, maybe suspended, for a couple of days, right? Maybe 2-3 days suspension. That was a normal procedure if it was your first time happening. Now, out of all the years I worked there, I never had one incident, not one, on no write-ups, no nothing, no suspensions, no nothing. I had a shutdown because I was confused about a particular valve they told me to close. That's really what it was. It was a confusion. Shut a move down. I ended up getting fired down the line for it. But yet the white dudes, I've seen them do it for years, and they get a write-up, 3-day suspension, they back to work, whatever, right? Now, if I'd have known about disparity of treatment, I could have got paid, but I didn't know that. And it's been many of you brothers and sisters have been treated different on jobs. You may be getting treated on job now. Document all that, and go to the EEOC with all your evidence. You talking about, hey, I'm being treated different. I want to put in a disparity of treatment claim. I say, and this is my evidence. And they're going to have to investigate that. They're going to have to. And you keep pressing it because nobody should treat you different on the job. They shouldn't fire you, but let the other one stay. No. And a lot of times we don't sue because we just don't know. But no, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation with our brother here. He got paid, but I encourage you, if anything else, I want black people to sue. I want you to sue for their racism. Make racism cost them money. If they want to be racist, cool. I'm suing you for it. I want to get paid. And maybe they'll buy you a house or something like that cash.
Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.